What a what a way to start a stream with that horrible rolling thunder out there. Best o luck. My back is fucked. It's um it's worse today than it was yesterday. Ashley left for work today, and I was just getting up out of bed, and I thought for a second that things were feeling better. Like I was like, okay, all right, today I'm not as in anywhere near as much pain. That's good. That's good. I swung my legs out of the bed. Still had to get up very like slowly, you know. But I got up and she's leaving for work, and I thought, yeah, I'll be okay to take a shower because the last couple of days I've had to wait to shower until she was around to help me because I couldn't put my socks or pants on my own. But today I genuinely felt like, all right, I'm fine. I've got a little bit better range of motion today, and I was wrong. I was just wrong. As soon as I got up and around fully, like stood up off of the bed, I realized that things had gotten worse. And as soon as I tried to get into the shower and turn it on, like I got into the shower and it was fucking agony just getting in it and like reaching down to turn the faucet on to start the shower and shit. And as soon as the water hit me, I realized I'd made a mistake because I was like, I'm not going to be able to get my fucking pants on. I'm going to be stuck in my bedroom all day, naked, laying on the bed. But I was able to do it. I need to see a doctor. I've seen so many different types of doctors for my back. It's absolutely unreal. The last time I saw a doctor for my back, I was told that while I have clear disc damage in my lower back and degenerative disc damage in my upper back, that I'm not a good candidate for surgery. The whatever it is not bad enough for surgical intervention. And so what they always recommend is a regimen of physical therapy. That's always the second thing they recommend. The first thing they recommend is for me to lose weight, which, I could go to the doctor here. He's probably going to give me a prescription for Motrin and tell me that I need to lose weight. So I have Motrin. I don't need ibuprofen. I've got that if I want it. It doesn't help me. And I'm losing weight. I'm doing my best to do that. So I don't need to. I feel like I don't really need to see a doctor to do what I'm doing. Yeah, dude. Sorry about that roller coaster ride I just gave all of you. Are you going to start working out? Yes, but I'm going to wait until I drop 20 or 30 pounds to start doing it in earnest because I'm going to be doing yoga mostly, probably some. Sorry, my first bowl of legal tobacco for the day, so it's a little harsh. But yeah, after I lose about 20 or 30 pounds, I'm going to start doing DDP yoga. Well, with some DDP yoga and just some general yoga poses that I know that I learned way back when I was a teenager that have helped me in the past. So that's what I'm planning on doing there. And then when I start feeling a little better still after that, there's some really nice walking paths around here. I know Dinor would love to go on some long walks with me. Even if he is a neurotic fuck in public, he seems to enjoy himself. So, once I start feeling better still, I'll start, taking some long walks with Dinor around our neighborhood here. Johnny Sins? What the fuck? Yeah, I'm gonna get a nice pair of Lululemon pants or whatever the fuck are they called? Isn't that the brand? Lululemons, that expensive ass yoga pants. Yeah, I'm gonna get some Lululemons, dude. I made $8 on Fiverr yesterday, so I'm pretty happy. That's cool, dude. Paul, if you end up in a wheelchair, can you please play Professor X the next time they renew the series? I don't think I'd be a good Professor X, dude. If I get skinny, I think I'd be a better Wolverine than a Professor X, you know? If I got skinny and just shaved off the beard and kept the big old chops, man, you telling me I wouldn't be a good Wolverine if I got ripped? Yeah, right now I'd be Professor XL, dude. Professor Triple X, dude. Professor 3X. That's gold, dude. That's gold. Wolverine is short. Well, like, yeah, but like, look at Tom Cruise. He plays a bunch of people that you think are, at least of normal height, but he's three apples high. They can change that in the movies. Just dig me a trench to walk in, when I'm walking next to people. They can make anybody look short on film. Just a matter of time. Tom Cruise, gay and manlet. Whoa, Lamel. Whoa. You'd be an American playing a Canadian who people think is American. Whoa. You're right. That would be crazy. I don't want to prove you wrong. I just said whoa. I think you're right. Probably. I just said whoa. It was unexpectedly brutal. It's all camera trickery. They could make Paul look like Scarlett Johansson if they try. I don't know about that. I mean, there's camera trickery and then there's magic. Okay. I want to see Paul play Darth Vader. No. I want to play Baron Harkonnen, man. But if I end up losing weight, maybe I could be like the Beast Raban or something. I guess Raban is supposed to be pretty big too. But yeah, I'd like to be in Dune. I could play Jabba now, man. I kind of look like Jabba the Hutt right now. I'm just like beached on this couch. The Incredible Sulk. Yeah. Kitty, look at this cat. I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna show you guys a funny meme. You ready? This cat. He keeps crawling in that laundry basket that we've got down there, and rolling around in it. And then he walks away from it, and then he goes back over and fights it, and then he gets back inside of it. Yeah, he's getting real big. He's almost. I don't think he's anywhere near full grown, but I think he's probably about halfway through his growth spurt. Look at him. The fuck? He attack. He loves the laundry basket the most. He drives Ashley insane when she's doing laundry down here. She'll be trying to take like a big basket of laundry upstairs, and he'll just like, as she's trying to pick it up, he'll jump in it and bury himself, like dig down into the clothes, and she's got to pull him out. He's a little fuck. Whatever. I don't know. He and I aren't on the best terms right now. I think he's kind of pissed off at me because he used to really like hanging out with me in my studio slash, computer area. But he chewed through my webcam cord and then chewed through a keyboard cord and then chewed through TJ's microphone shock mount cords. So he always tries to follow me in there, and I always have to pick him up and kick him out of the room. And I think he's pissed off at me, but I can't. You know what I mean? I can't have him. I can't have him in there. I can't watch him 24/7. Like if I'm in there, I have to be editing or working or whatever the fuck. And I can't have my eyeballs on him the whole time to make sure he's not chewing through a goddamn cord. So he can't be in there with me anymore. And I think he's pissed off at me about that. Plus, I end up spraying him with the bottle a lot because when he picks on Dinor, I don't let him. So I think he thinks I'm an asshole now, and I kind of think he's an asshole too. So at least we have mutual grounds. You know, why don't I cut his leg off? Yeah, you know what? That would help. If we just amputated his back two legs and then gave him like little wheels like they do for animals, you know, he'd still be able to get around and stuff, but he wouldn't be able to be an asshole anymore. Bite his ear or some shit. Yeah, cats, you can't like cats don't give a shit about how you feel. Well, yeah, that's probably true, but I'm just saying like in whatever feline way, he's like, ah, that guy over there, I don't like him anymore. Hope your back feels better soon. Thanks, Cynic. I mean, it'll probably be like this for a couple of weeks. Hopefully not like this. If it gets worse tomorrow, I'm gonna have to go to a doctor because I won't be able to get around. Um, it's a little unusual that I woke up today and now I feel like it's worse today than it has been the last 2 days. Usually, it peaks around the second day, which would have been yesterday, and then slowly starts. So I was kind of anticipating feeling a little better today, which I was totally wrong about. So if it worsens tomorrow, then I might have really damaged something when I tried to lift. See, it's hard to tell. I mean, technically I did damage something when I tried to lift the end of this couch. The question is to what extent? Did I just throw my back out by straining a bunch of muscles around it? Did I stress one of my discs overly hard in a way that rolled a nerve underneath it and it's pinching a nerve now? Did I herniate a disc? If any of those last two are true, then I'm going to have to go seek medical treatment for this. And the way I'll know if either of those is true is if I wake up tomorrow and I feel worse. If I wake up tomorrow and my back is worse, then I know that I probably ruptured or herniated a disc and might have to go and get, some kind of surgical intervention or some shit. You ever tried putting a leg up on the bed and lean forward to stretch your lower back? My lower back is I have to be very careful with it. I can't do things like the most stretch that my lower back gets is a stretch that I usually do every day that I can't even think about doing right now, which sucks because it means that my upper back now hurts because I'm not able to do my normal stretching shit that I do every fucking day to make sure my back is okay. Right now, I can barely get up from a sitting position. When I walk, I'm hobbled and lopsided. When I'm sitting down, you know what I mean? I just can't stretch. But one of the most stretch my lower back gets is I just bend at the waist. I'm not flexible enough to touch the ground with my knees locked. But I bend at the waist and I hang there, and it really helps to decompress my spine and gives me a good stretch across my lower back. The only other way that I know how to stretch it, and once again, I do this every day, is I lay on my back with my arms spread out like Jesus on the cross, and I take my right leg and cross it over my left leg, and then try and push that leg over, you know what I mean? Push that left leg over my right leg, stretching my back by twisting to that side. And that gets me a really nice deep stretch across my lower back and my ass muscles and all of that shit. It hurts, but it feels really good. And you just do that with the other side as well. But the key to that is you have to keep both shoulders on the ground. Yeah, pulsifix, yeah. I missed a super chat. All right, I'll check it. I'm thinking about doing like a super chat segment on this. You know what I mean? Where I take some time and just read all the super chats because I feel like I just miss them when they happen. And then I hope your back feels better soon. Okay, do you still obsess about the past? Absolutely. Yeah, I sure do. Do you look back on high school fondly? Yeah, I do. For the most part. I mean, there was shit like I, we all tend to, I think, uh, like mythologize our own pasts and look at them through rose tinted glasses, And setting that aside, though, I really did enjoy high school. And one of the reasons was I felt like I had a purpose there. I was very, very lucky to, in my freshman year, because I didn't want to take, band because I'd done that in junior high and didn't like it. And, nothing else seemed appealing. And I thought it would be easy, honestly. I enrolled in Drama 1, which was offered to freshmen or anybody who hadn't taken Drama 1. And I thought it was just going to be an easy A. I'd done some acting and stuff and school plays and whatnot in my junior high and elementary days. So I was like, yeah, I know how to do that. So I can just fuck around in there and it's an easy A class and blah, blah, blah. And luckily for me, I was wrong. It was one of the hardest classes I had that year. And the teacher was an absolute brilliant, brilliant influence on me. And I ended up staying in drama all 4 years of high school, and it was what I lived for. And it started that year, that first year, the first time I got cast in a role. The first play I ever did was my freshman year, Drama 1. I played there's a very small role. It's a taxi driver in Steel Magnolias, which is a female-dominated cast. It's one of the only male parts in the show at all. And out of all of the people, all the kids that had been doing drama for 2 years and 3 years and 4 years, my little freshman ass was cast in that role. And that was it for me. I had a purpose. My academic career as it pertained to the next 4 years of my life in high school had a purpose. I had a drive. When I woke up in the morning, I was excited to go to school. Not because I was excited to go to fucking English 1A or fucking math or, whatever the fuck, but because I knew that at the end, well, my drama 1 class was my first class. So I was always excited to get up and go to school my freshman year. But after my freshman year, I was bumped up to drama 3/4 performance. And that was a seventh period class. So the last period of the day. So I had seventh period drama. So the only reason I got up in the morning and got out of bed was so that I could get through the bullshit that I had to do in school and get to drama and do what I felt like I was supposed to be doing. And I learned how to love performance in that class. I learned how to do improvisational comedy in that class. I learned how to appreciate Shakespeare and ancient Greek plays and just theater in general. I learned the value of communication in that class. I mean, it was really like a parent away from my parents. My teacher Ginger is just one of those people who, despite the fact that politically she and I disagree almost totally, she's a really, really staunch conservative, although that never came up when I was her student. That I only know that because I'm Facebook friends with her. She was never a preachy conservative, but she does that on her Facebook. She's just a person that if she has something to say to me, I listen to it, no matter what. Doesn't mean I always take her advice, but it means she always has my ear because she's one of the most important people in my life. So having that at school is why I remember high school fondly, because I genuinely, for a very brief time in my life, something that I haven't reclaimed until very recently in my life, I felt like I had a purpose. I felt like I was doing what I should be doing. And that's something that some people chase their whole lives and never get a taste of. And I got a taste of it very early in my life. Did you get a love of? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I got a love of language from it. She taught me how to appreciate language. My fucking vocabulary, which I'm not claiming it wasn't bad before I went there. I already had a natural aptitude towards English. In school, it was always, as long back as I can remember, even into elementary school, it was always the the subject that required the least effort from me to get an A or a B in. I just knew how to do it. I had a natural facility for language, but she taught me to love it. That class taught me to appreciate it and not just use it. So, yeah, my vocabulary expanded going to that class. My ability to communicate with people expanded. she basically taught me how to do improvisational comedy. Before that, I'd tried my hand at it with storytelling as a kid. I was already kind of well versed in that type of performance, but she taught me, you know, how to do character performance and how to do character improv, and that's something that I use literally every day. Every fucking day of my life, I use it, even if it's for just a few seconds. And it's a part of what makes me money, you know? Like, I don't want to pull the veil back. Well, whatever. You guys are not retarded. You know, Senior Tomat's not real. But like, Senior Tomat, right, was an improv. A total off the top of my head improv, a character that I made up just looking at that stupid little bouncing tomato. And he is a tomato, by the way. 110% improv. Oh God, get over it, guys. Get over it. I'll erase this. So, this is not canon. This is not canon. But that was an improv. And every time that I've spoken as Senior Tomat has been an improv. I've never scripted it. And I just kind of look at him while I'm talking. TJ, screen shares on my monitor so I can see the little tomats bouncing there, and I come up with something and I do it, and that's it. Now, the one exception to that was the last one. TJ and I collaborated on that one. It was his idea because he said that Tomat looked like he was spanking the Tomatinos, and I loved it. So I went with that, and we actually did 2 takes of that one too. I did 1 take where I tried some things, and then TJ was like, "All right, do another take and do more of this." I did that, and we ended up using the second one. So that one was, but still, nothing was written. So the performance is still 100% improvisational. And I wouldn't be able to do that if I hadn't had that experience. Like, I just wouldn't know how to connect with that in a way that makes people interested in it, you know? Scotty's Tomatino whales made me laugh. That was actually TJ. Was there ever a certain point where you noticed that kids stopped enjoying school in the same way as your generation and started thinking of it as prison? I don't know, man. I don't know that kids think of it like prison. That's a comparison that I make because I see parallels to prison and modern education. But kids are certainly like, I don't know. It's hard to put my finger on when it happened because I graduated, and I spent the next decade of my life having nothing to do with education. I moved out of the state. I worked at fucking Starbucks for 8 years. So, I had no idea I really don't know when the tipping point was. I do know that according to a lot of the teachers I used to work with, the tipping point was No Child Left Behind, which had been implemented a couple of, I think it's like a year as a curriculum. It was a year or two before I got hired and was being implemented on the technology end as I got hired. And, you know, when I would be in the break room and teachers would also be in the break room and they were talking and, just kind of bitching to me about their jobs or bitching to one another about their jobs, I would always overhear that it was No Child Left Behind, which was an educational reform bill passed during the George W. Bush administration, designed to elevate failing schools and to elevate failing students to the level, to a base level of competency, which are noble goals. But as I understand No Child Left Behind, it was done completely backwards. They elevated underfunded, failing public schools, or their idea of how to elevate them was to threaten them with closure if their students didn't do better on tests, and then give them a curriculum that they claimed would make their students do better on tests. And when their students didn't do better on tests, these little rural, underfunded, failing schools had money stripped away from them. So the answer, when they were given the curriculum, they tried it, and the test scores didn't raise enough was, okay, you get less money than you had before, because that's going to make those kids learn. A total fucking, like a just completely backwards approach. So it was a very Republican educational reform bill. Instead of providing more money on the whole, it was more about threatening failing schools with less money. A very right wing conservative idea. So, and it ruined schools. It took away the autonomy of teachers. And this is, once again, not according to me. This is according to teachers that I overheard and shared this with me. It took away their autonomy. It stripped their ability to give direct attention to students that needed it. It was used as an excuse to expand their class sizes, because now if you're teaching all the kids to the test, you're teaching all the children the same way, then you can have bigger class sizes. You don't need to be as individual now because you're doing everything together as a group. So now, instead of 20 kids in your class, which is already, I'll be honest with you, pushing the limits of what a teacher should have in their class at the elementary level and junior high level specifically. Now you can have 40 or 41 or 42 or 43 to 1. Total nonsense. It's total fucking nonsense. One teacher for every student. Yeah, that's never going to happen. Nor do I think it should. But hey, Salvador, what do you know, bro? Quit barking, you little shit. What's an ideal class size in your mind? I'd say somewhere between 15 and 20 to 1. Anything above that starts getting out of control. When I was a kid, I believe it was somewhere in that zone. I don't think that, at least in elementary school, where I think class size is most important, I don't think I ever was in a class that had more than 20 kids in it. So I'd say that seems about right. There certainly needs to be a hard limit set, and if I were in charge, I would probably, if I were in charge, I'd talk to teachers about what they thought was, but they're all going to say, they're all going to go low. I think between 15 and 20 is pretty fair. How would you reform the U.S. school system? I'm not a smart enough guy to know that, man. I didn't spend my life studying educational technology and studying the history of education and studying the methods of education. I don't know, man. I could sit here and bloviate for you, but I'd really rather not on this subject, because I just don't know. I don't know. I do know that as it stands right now, I'm pretty sure it needs to be torn down and rebuilt as something that's functional, because the dysfunction that I experienced in my 7 or 8 years working with the school district was profound. Unbelievably profound. No video, I know. What do I think about AI teachers? I don't really. It's not something I consider, because AI doesn't exist yet. So, shit. Dinor, shut up! Oh my god, dude. What a total piece of fucking shit. Fuck me, dude. Ouch. Get down. Get down off me. Get away from me. Pissed off at you. live in the UK, and 40 kids in a class seems preposterous. Well, it's pretty par for the course here. Preposterous, sir. Are you telling me that in your country you have 40 students and only one teacher? Sir, that seems preposterous on the face of it. On the face of it, preposterous. 40 students and only one teacher. I'm in the UK, and my classes were like that. Well, there you go. If you don't eat your meat, you can't have any pudding. How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat? If you don't eat your meat, you cannot have any pudding. How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat? I always liked that guy as a kid. When my stepdad, as a teenager, when my stepdad got me into Pink Floyd, I used to listen to Goodbye Blue Sky all the time. It's still my favorite song on the wall, and maybe my favorite Pink Floyd song. I mean, it's always a struggle picking that, but I always loved that dude. I always loved hearing his rant repeated at the beginning of it on the album. It's like, go on, get your kids. Go on, get your kids. If you don't eat your meat, you can't have any pudding. How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat? And then, doom, 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 doom. Is that Bring Out Your Dead? I don't know what the other guy's saying. Wring out your bread. That's Monty Python. Monty Python. Piper at the Gates of Dawn. If I have heard it, I don't know it by name. I'll beat your meat with my puddin' pups. We are the knights who say nee. What did they used to be? We used to be the knights who say icky icky patang to boy. The Round Table of Rottingham. Monty Python is honestly not funny. Well, dude, I don't know what to tell you, but you're just wrong. How does it feel to be born without a functional sense of humor? Because that you must have been born absolutely without a functional sense of humor. Your sense of humor must have stopped developing it. It's funny when man hit man with club, bonk bonk. You're the people that like keep Medea being a franchise. You know, you're just like born without any concept of what's funny. Get down. Get down. Get down. Yep, get off the thing. And Kitty, I'll spray you if you attack him. I don't want you up here, Dinosaur. Your barking ass is fucking with me. Yeah, Minions. Yeah, that's that same thing, dude. People that go see the Minions movie are like, oh man, I'll tell you what though, I took the kids to see that Minions movie. Oh man, I never laughed so hard in my life. That little yellow bastard bends over and pulls out his little yellow butt cheeks, man. I just couldn't stop laughing. I just couldn't stop laughing, man. I just couldn't stop laughing. I tell you what, man. I just couldn't stop laughing. Oh man, those little guys are funny, man. The way they talk to each other too, it's funny too. The way they talk to each other, I tell you, they look at each other and they're like, oh, da ba do day, like they talk all weird like little Asians, like little crazy little Asian people or something. You know how they talk to each other? Yeah, they talk to each other like that, so you never can tell what they're saying. So you have to kind of guess what they're saying from what they're doing. So like he'll slap a dude in the face, they slap each other. He'll ride on a rocket, he'll just jump on a rocket and the rocket will accidentally go off and fly towards the wall and he'll be like, no, like that, and you know what he's saying. He's saying, fuck me, man, I'm about to hit the wall. But it's funny because he's like, you know, he's a little yellow guy. Psychotic breakdown. Okay, dude. You haven't been around here a whole lot, have you? What do you think of the show King of the Hill? I personally think it's one of the best adult. Well, it's not an Adult Swim show. I mean, I guess now it is, but I don't think of it that way. It's just a show that's on Adult Swim now. But yeah, I like it. I haven't seen every episode of it. It wasn't my favorite show back in the day, but there's a lot of really, really funny stuff. A lot of really kind of like genuinely heartwarming stuff in that show too, which is hard to pull off. It is a little slow, honestly. It's a very dry show, so I don't know. I tend to like more absurdist humor, but I like some dry humor too. I can appreciate it.
What show's dry?
King of the Hill.
Oh yeah, dude, I didn't get King of the Hill when it first came out.
Most people didn't. A lot of kids my age thought it sucked, and I probably did back when I was a teenager too. I know I didn't watch it much until I got older.
Like, it was like the creator of Beavis and Butthead, like yeah, and then you see it like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck, man? This is boring. All they do is sit around and talk to each other. I sell propane. Who cares? Do something wacky.
I watched it later in life, and I was like, oh,
Yeah, it's an adult show. Got it.
I get it. I was too young and stupid to understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I loved their Asian neighbor, Khan. He was amazing. Like, so many of the characters were great in that. Cotton, his dad, was just like always awesome. I loved his neighbors, Boomhauer, and whoever else. I don't know. I haven't watched it in a while, but like I said, I haven't seen every episode of it, but
I mean, nor have I, because I didn't get into it when it was out.
yeah,
But looking back on it, there was some pretty funny shit.
yeah. Dale, yeah. Ouch. Oh, motherfuck.
He was Dale and Bill were his other
Fuck me, dude. So I was telling them earlier, TJ, when I woke up today, and I was like, oh man, I think I feel a little bit better. I think the back's getting a little better. All right. Usually I wait to take a shower until Ashley's around because I can't put my fucking pants on.
Right.
So, but today I was like, go on, go work, baby. I'm going to take a shower. She's like, you sure? I was like, yeah, go on. I'm sitting on the edge of the bed, like, all right. She leaves. I stand up, and I'm like, oh, fuck. It's worse. So I had an adventure, dude. I had to come up with a method for getting these pants on, and it was not pretty. I ended up laying on the ground, on my back, grabbing the pants, putting them down by my feet, and getting my feet in them. Then going up to a sitting position and pulling them up to my knees. Then getting on my knees and standing up very slowly, and then lifting one leg at a time to pull them up. That was my method. Ouch. Oh, fuck.
Damn, dude. At least you figured something out.
Yep. Motherfucker, dude. Oh, fuck you.
You sure you want to go out?
It's raining ass out there.
Guess so.
It's raining ass.
I know you don't want to go out, Cat.
I want to get out there.
If I let you out, you want back in quick.
I let him out a little bit earlier when it was just starting, and he like walked over to the thing, and like a couple drops hit him, and he was like, "Fuck this," and went right back to the door.
Like, nah.
Nope.
Nah.
Nope. Not doing it. Pass. Yeah, get back. Get away from this door. Quit biting my foot. Fuck you. Get back. CJ. Holy fuck, a Yeti. Fuck you, Creamage. You suck.
Yeah, what a piece of shit.
I've always hated you. Paul looks different.
What do you understand about life? There's Sal already like, wait a minute, I don't want this.
Dude, I found out how you can see things that have been deleted on a subreddit. And it's pretty cool. Ah, fuck me.
Like, posts that have been deleted?
Yeah. You can go back and read them and everything. All you got to do is like when you're at the URL like of the subreddit you want to look at, just take the R in the Reddit in the URL and replace it with a C. So it's like setit.com / whatever. And then it just like, it loads this alternate page that has all of the posts and the deleted ones show up in red. And you can read them and shit. It's crazy. It's crazy.
But that's how it goes. Millions of people.
What was the name of that surgery you said you used to get every few years for your back? I never got, I don't think it's considered a surgery. I used to get cortisone injections. Like, they put a big ass fucking needle directly into your spine, basically, or your spinal column. Oh, it would help for a period of time. Like, it was always it's basically to just stop things from getting inflamed in your back. So you give a massive dose of cortisone directly into the disc and the surrounding muscles and shit. And it keeps those muscles from getting inflamed for a few months. And then you go back and you get it fucking... It wasn't a spinal tap, but it was kind of like a surgical procedure because it had to be done at the hospital. You had to lay down on your face and you had to be sedated. So it was kind of surgical, I guess, but all it involved was sticking a needle into the parts of my back that were worst affected and injecting a big, massive dose of cortisone into it. Oh, super chats. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing a super chat segment on this going forward because I'm just tired of missing them and then having to like stop what I'm doing and go and read them. Hope your back gets better. Thanks for exposing me to Elite Dangerous. I can't afford a good computer yet, but I got it for PS4. PSN name is Maggot Magus. Cool. Would you prefer World War III or World War Ski?
What the hell is World War Ski?
I don't know.
Like, Bandy Worski is declared ruler of the earth or something?
Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, then I want World War III.
I mean, one would probably go with the other, right?
Yeah. Oh, shit. Paul is too fat to ski. That is so true. Oh, man. Okay, so one time, and I didn't even try to ski. I tried to snowboard, which is, I don't know if it's easier or harder than skiing, but I thought it was going to be easier because when I was a kid, I would skateboard. Now, I was a teenager at this time, so not even as fat as I am now, but I was still way too fat to be doing what I was doing. My parents took us all up to like Heavenly Valley, which is above where I used to live, this great ski resort. Rented all the gear and shit. I get a snowboard. I get on the ski lift. You know, I kind of tool around on it a little bit, but there's a bunny hill that you could go practice on. And I was like, oh, ha! I don't need that shit. I'm ready to go. So I get on the ski lift all by myself, riding it up. And I'm like, yeah. I fell getting off the ski lift and busted my ass pretty hard. Then there's the initial start of the slope. You know what I mean? Which isn't even all that fucking fast. It's just kind of you're getting started. I didn't make it past that. Well, I did, but so slowly it was fucking tragic. I started down. I was like, yeah! Got a little speed going up. Felt all good about myself. And then the first time I had to maneuver in any way to like turn, I just didn't. And it went tumbling into the fucking trees, right? End over end. Every time I fell, I was just like hurting myself. I was a teenager at this time, so my body wasn't as busted up as it is now. But it's just like you get up and you're just like, fuck, man, okay, put the thing back on. I got about a quarter of the way down the slope, way far enough to be far away from anybody who can help me, when I finally realized it wasn't going to happen. I was like, there's literally no way I can make it down this slope on this board or by myself. And so I flagged down somebody that was skiing, and I was like, so if this is a bad idea, what do I do? And they're like, you call the thing, and he's like, I'll call him for you. Like fucking like an hour later, the shame sled comes for me. This dude on a fucking a snowmobile towing a fucking red sled behind him that I have to lay on. And he pulls up, he's like, you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I just can't do this. I don't know how to do this. So I was just stuck here. He's like, all right, get on the sled. I was like, can't I ride on? Because there was a seat on the thing behind him. I was like, I'm not hurt, really. He's like, nope, you got to get on the sled. Sorry. Fuck. So I got to do the rest of the 3/4 of the course being towed slowly by a snowmobile on a sled with everybody looking at me as they skied past. Fuck! So yeah, no, but I was sore for like 6 weeks after that. I was like, I will never go do that ever again. Never. The fucking sled of shame, dude. It's too much. It's too much.
Fucking sled of shame. Where this ain't happening for me.
I mean, you know what that point is, you know what I mean? You get to that point where you're like, well, I literally am not physically capable of this, so what do?
Don't worry, wait here an hour and the man will show up with the sled of eternal shame.
And then he'll tow you down it while everyone laughs at you and skis by and has a great time. It's like, oh man.
Look at that fat little faggot, honey.
Looks like somebody bit off more than they could chew for the first time.
Oh, motherfuck.
The sled of shame, dude.
The sled of shame.
Should have taken that bunny hill, man. Should have just stayed on the goddamn bunny hill, but whatever. Oh, fuck. Ah. Ah. Shit. Okay. What did that snow ape just gesticulate at us? I think he gave you the finger. My teacher accused me of being a creationist. Or are you? Are you? What's more pathetic, the 30-year-old evicted from his parents or Pauly Shore begging for attention? Tough question, I know. Take your time. Yeah, it is kind of a tough question, honestly. Let me think about it. Let me think about this. Let's puzzle this one out. All right, so Pauly Shore, dude that like had hit his peak in his very early 20s and then just never got it back. Just his career was like this, right? And he's like 50 fucking years old now or more, probably pushing 60, and making videos where he's begging people to show children his old movies back from when he was a hot commodity and film their reaction to it, hoping to get a bunch of really good reactions from kids being like, oh man, Pauly Shore is a fucking legend. Oh my God, Mom, why didn't I know about this Pauly Shore guy? And instead, he got absolutely no response from anybody. All right, that's pathetic. Then, on the other hand, you've got a 30-year-old dork who lives with his mom and dad, who lost custody of his kid because he's a piece of shit. And his parents asked him to move out multiple times, and he kept making excuses for why he couldn't do it. But the real excuse was that he didn't want to go out and get a job, and still doesn't have a job. But they had to take him to court. His literal parents, the people that birthed him, had to take him to court to get him to move out of their home. That's pathetic. All right, so we got two very, very pathetic things here. And honestly, I don't know. I gotta say Pauly Shore. And the reason for that is, you know, it's worse to be a has-been than a never was. Now, this dude is getting a lot of negative press right now, as well he should, but he's probably going to go on and live a relatively normal life because nobody cares, you know, nobody a week from now is going to even remember who the fuck he is. So, but Pauly Shore is just a tumbling cartwheel of self-aggrandizement and failure. And every time he gives like, you saw him on Joe Rogan talking about how he invented MTV. It's like, are you fucking crazy? how like the Adam Sandler generation of comedy was all him. And it's like, so he took responsibility for MTV's existence and the existence of comedy as it was in the 90s. I have to tell you, I grew up in the 90s. I was 10 in 1990 and fucking 19 in 1999. And let me tell you something. Pauly Shore didn't influence shit. Pauly Shore was one of a bunch of weirdo fucking comics that were there for a while and then disappeared. He just happened to be a little more popular than a lot of the other ones. He had quite a few movies that did pretty well. But as far as like him being some big, strong influence on everybody else's fucking comedy in the 90s or having some reason to brag about that, he contributed nothing to stand-up comedy. Nothing. His stand-up is unwatchable. And his character contributed, like nobody tried to rip off Pauly Shore. Nobody. Nobody wanted to be the weasel. No, nobody was trying to do that. And for good reason, because it wore thin with people. And once Pauly Shore was forced to do something other than act like a stony, crusty dude with the mop on top, my melon's fully tweaked and I'll never stop. But once he had to do something more than like do that, there were no parts for him. Because he can't do anything else. And you can see it, like when you watch the video that we're talking about here, where he's begging people to like, look, what I want you to do is show your kids my videos, bro. All right, show my kid, you know, like, he's still doing it. He's still trying to, like, when is Pauly Shore just going to talk like Pauly Shore? It's like even when he was on Joe Rogan, he's like, you know, bro, it's like, you know, the whole MTV thing. And, you know, like that was all me. You know, he's still doing the stony, crusty dude with the mop on top bullshit. And, you know, I have no other, nothing else to assume other than that it's because whatever's underneath that, Pauly Shore, is just not marketable. The actual real Pauly Shore as a dude isn't marketable. So it's not even really a 90s surfer jive. It's like a 90s stoner. That was his thing. Like that was his appeal in the 90s. If you look at like his big breaks, right? Getting cast in fucking Encino Man, right? His character in that's name is no, it's not. It's not Crawl. That's a different one. I can't remember what his name is in that one, but he's just literally there to be stoned. He's like, I'm the stoner, bro. Hey, buddy, it's me, the stoner character. Oh, man, I'm always doing weed. Oh, my God, weed jokes, weed references. I'm the stoner. Yeah, his name is fucking Stony. And then in the next movie, yeah, he's wheezing the juice. The whistle wheezing the juice. How long can you ride that? Apparently, you know, he thinks he can ride it into his 60s. My impersonation is good because I lived through the goddamn 90s and I lived through the Pauly Shore apocalypse where for a couple of years he was just cameos and everything. People just couldn't get enough of that. Buddy. Don't harsh my gig, Cruster. And then, when people got sick of that shit, he had nothing else. I'm a 90s kid. I was born in 1980, so I was 10 years old in 1990 and 20 years old in 2000. Yeah, if they ever do a Richard Simmons biopic, you're right. Today he's all but a shit stain on the 90s. Exactly. Nobody. That's why it's so sad that he made that video like, hey buddies, show your kids my stuff, man. Because like nobody watches this shit. The people, the buddies that he's talking about don't exist. There's like 1,500 views on that video, and 800 of them are because we watched it on one of our shows. Like, there's nobody watching him. So he's just talking to no one now. He's just like, hey, buddies, remember me? It's the Wizard. Anyway, I was just thinking, buddies, that you could, you know, it's just like, oh my God. And then he's getting like when we found that video, it had like 38 views. Gary. He's gonna have the weasel on his tombstone. Yeah. Here lies Pauly Shore, the weasel. Oh, life finally harshed my gig crusters. 1972 to 2021. Oh, buddy. Rest in peace. Great show on David Bowie, dude. All respect to Scotty on that one. Like I said, we all researched our own musician. So I did the Cobain, TJ did Manson, Scotty did Bowie. I think it was great that we kind of finished up the at least the biography portion of it with Scotty's, because man, dude, he did a phenomenal job. Scotty's a consummate researcher, man. The dude always has great stuff to add. He always finds stuff that we wouldn't have even thought to find. He's great at pulling stats and stuff. Has a very different eye than I do as far as presentation. But man, that little piece that he wrote about Bowie and Black Star that he read at the end, dude, I genuinely got choked up. Like I had a little lump in my throat after that. And then when I found out he wrote that, I thought he was just quoting somebody who wrote a very eloquent kind of wrap up and review of Black Star. But when he said, no, I wrote that, dude, fucking mad respect to Scotty. Totally awesome. I mean, look, Deep Fat Fried is never going to be able to cover every aspect of every topic, and especially a topic like Bowie or Kurt Cobain or Manson, where you could spend, an hour just talking about one of Manson's albums or one of Bowie's albums, or you could spend an hour just talking about, in fact, I think we did on our episode. We spent an hour just talking about Kurt's childhood. You know what I mean? You have to be cognizant, because we do not want to be in the business of making a 4-hour podcast again. That's too much for people to watch in one sitting. I wouldn't sit down and watch a 4-hour fucking podcast in one sitting. And if you're not watching in one sitting, then you're probably not going to come back. So my thinking on this is we need to keep these shows, bite-sized to the best of our ability. Like the Bowie show, hour and a half, hour and 36 minutes, I think, which is, in my mind, about a perfect show. The Cobain show, just under 2 hours. Once again, that's about what I'll sit down and watch a movie, So yeah, trying to keep things constrained means that we have to be judicious with what we cover. We have to decide. We have to make that fucking, balance decision when we're pulling things for the show. We've got to go, okay, do we want to spend an hour talking about this, or do we want to spend that hour talking about this group of things that we're not going to get time to talk about because of this? And you got to balance that out. So hour and a half is perfect feature film lengths. I mean, yeah, that's one of the reasons. Maybe TJ had a different reason for wanting to do a shorter kind of show this time. But for me, it was just I'm not going to sit and watch a 4-hour fucking podcast ever. So why would I expect my fans to do it? An hour and a half seems like pretty fucking good. 2 hours, you know what I mean? Trying to limit ourselves to that seems like a good fucking idea.
I mean, we knew when we started that it wasn't going to be as long as
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, the reason I think that was a good idea for this type of format, because somebody asked earlier, why didn't you cover Bowie's influence on the Berlin Wall and shit? And it's just look, when we pull these things, we've got that time in mind.
Yeah.
And we have to be selective with what we pull. We have to weigh out what we're pulling, right?
I think we said when we started that we wanted things to fall in the range of like 45 minutes, which we've never done a show that was only 45 minutes.
No.
I think we've done something like 50, 55. But we
Maybe.
wanted it to fall between 45 minutes and 2 hours. And we felt like that was a pretty good spot for the show to be in. And we knew it would mostly fall around hour and 10, hour and 30.
Right. So.
You know, I mean, there are podcasts that, like, there was something we did. We did I forget what it was. Some topic we covered. There was another show that did like a 6-hour show on it. People were like, this 6-hour show went way more in depth. It's like, okay, well then go watch that.
Not only that, but no shit it did.
Yeah, it's 6
2 hours
long.
versus 6 hours, and they went more in depth. Kel surprise, dude.
Yeah.
Look, yeah, when you're trying to make something that's watchable for people, that people are actually going to sit down and like sit through, you have to be selective with what you talk about on any given topic. But the beauty of the freedom of a platform like Deep Fat Fried is if there's something we miss, we can always go back and do a David Bowie part 2, or a Kurt Cobain part 2, or a Manson part 2, and very well may.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot. I mean, look, when I did the Manson episode, I certainly felt like, oh, there's a lot of shit I'm really leaving on the table here.
I felt the same way with Kurt. You know, you have to, because you're always trying to push towards that time mark, because that matters just as much as the information that you're presenting. So what we cover, how much we riff, all of that stuff has to be, you know, you have to be cognizant of that shit. But if we miss something, we can go back and do another one. You know, next year, Kurt Cobain 2, Manson 2, Bowie 2, you know? Why? Why not?
What was that? No? Yes, maybe.
I've always viewed DFF as more of a broad overview of a topic, where the bants were more important. If I wanted to know an in-depth analysis of a topic, I'd watch a documentary or read about it. I mean, sure, no 2-hour podcast can replace reading a book about a subject, nor are we trying to.
Or watching like a Ken Burns documentary about it.
Exactly. Like,
we did an episode on Prohibition. Guess what? The Ken Burns documentary is way more in depth.
yeah, because there's 8 2-hour episodes of it. You know, it's like we just like to take a look at a topic through our lens, have some fun with it. I always learn things when I'm doing this. Like, you know, even as I'm doing the research for things, I'm learning about them. So it's fun for me to learn a little bit more about something I didn't know so much about. And that's, I think, what we're shooting for if we're informational. It's just like, hey, I didn't know anything about fucking David Bowie, and now I know some stuff about his life, and I know some of the albums he released, and I know what kind of impact he had. So cool.
But, I mean, none of us are educators, so...
Nor do we want to be.
If you're looking for, like, a super in-depth sort of thing, then yeah, I mean, our show ain't it. We cover topics in a pretty general sense and sort of do some riffing and have fun with them.
Because of whoa. Dinor's such a butthole. My God, dude. The stampede has begun. All 3 animals are now in the same animal pen together. Oh my goodness. Oh shit. starting to get like that dreamlike feeling that you get when you don't sleep well for days and days on end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's becoming surreal.
Yeah. I feel worse for fucking Ashley because I don't know, maybe she's sleeping through it, but I know I'm waking up like 10, 15 times a night going, you know, I couldn't sleep through that shit. Maybe she's a deeper sleeper than me, but something tells me she's not. Dinor actually owns Paul. That's true. I mean, I do not dispute this. I'm his slave, literally. Like, I work all day to put food on his table, and he does nothing in return other than be cute and lovable sometimes.
Like old fish in here.
It does?
Fish.
Yeah,
I don't smell no old fish. Old fish, dude. Is it the trash? DFF Galen. Yeah, dude. Let's DFF Galen, dude. Let's have him on for his own DFFing, where we mute his mic for periods of time while you are allowed to tell your story of Galen. And we unmute it. We give him 5 minutes. Tell the story of Galen. Tell me what's wrong with that. Be good. I don't think he'd agree to it, though. Be like, I don't want to be muted.
Not be censored.
I will not go on your show and be censored, sir.
Censored.
Holy shit. I'll incriminate myself better than you guys can. All right. Fair enough. I just thought it would be funny. You know, it was so much fun on the Prohibition episode to have TJ and Scotty's mom show up like that and tell some really awesome stories about when they were kids. And I'm sure both TJ and Scotty have similar awesome stories about Galen, him being a fixture in their lives for as long as he has been. I just think Galen would probably take issue with many of those stories and would want to correct them. He would feel that it was his duty to correct the record. Didn't Scotty stab TJ with a sword? I don't know, but I do know that Scotty fucking karate kicked TJ one time. I don't know. Did I ever tell this story on a fucking Highdeology? I don't know. But I was witness to that shit, dude. I was witness to the karate kicking. Did Scotty ever stab you with anything?
yeah.
Yeah.
We witnessed that.
Oh yeah, that's right, and the karate kicking.
Thanks.
Oh, dude.
Whatever, I thought.
So at the New Orleans meetup, I woke up one day to the sound of hustle and bustle in the living room. TJ and Scotty were having one of their, well-vaunted arguments, and it was time for me to get up anyway. So I was like, all right. So I rubbed the crust out of my eyes and shit, go fucking take a shower, and I get out, and the fight's still going on, and it sounds even more heated. So I walk out into the living room, and TJ's sitting on a couch, and Scotty's standing there like, 3 or 4 feet away from him. And I don't even know what the argument started about, but it was just like, it had devolved into just like pure ego bashing of each other. It was just like, Scotty was like, fuck you, TJ. You wouldn't be able to do shit without me. And TJ was like, get off my stage, bitch. And I'm just like, whoa. So I sit down at the table and I'm just like, all right, free movie this morning. Dude, at one point, so they're just doing that. They're sniping back and forth at each other. Yeah, you know, Scotty, fuck you, TJ, and TJ's like, fuck me, fuck you. You know, that's going on. And TJ stands up at one point, and then I notice Scotty's got a pencil in his hand. And I'm like, oh shit, wait a minute, what? TJ starts walking towards him, yelling and shit, and Scotty puts that pencil out. He doesn't jab him right at first. He's like, I'm fucking stab you, TJ. You fucking come in my face, TJ. I got fucking put down, fucking stab you. TJ's like, fuck you, bitch. You ain't gonna stab shit. Fuck you, a pussy. And starts walking some more. And fucking Scotty just goes, and TJ's like, oh, man, fuck you, Scotty. Fuck. He goes and sits down on the, he's like, I told you, TJ. I told you I stabbed you with a fucking pencil, TJ. I fucking told you. And TJ's like on the fucking couch going, fuck you, man. Fuck you. Fuck you, dude. Get out of here. I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm done with you. Get out of here. And Scotty's like, done with me? I'm fucking done with you, bitch. I'm fucking done with you, bitch. And I shit you not, if you've ever played Mortal Kombat and done an air kick, like when you jump in the air and they put their leg out and they're like, hiya! You know what I mean? Like how they do. If you've ever done that in your life, that's what he did to TJ. He launched into the air and went, yeah! You know, like put his foot out and hit TJ right in the stomach with it. It didn't hurt him. Like TJ was just like, pfft. But like, and then Scotty left. And that's how my day started that day. Oh yeah, that's right. Your mom was there, and she was like, "Come on, Scotty, get out of here. Come on, let's get out of here." She broke it up, and then that was it.
Oh, I'm so glad you guys don't do that shit anymore.
Who knows?
I mean, you never know when one of those will happen.
I haven't had a physical fight since then, I don't think.
No. How long was that?
That was in 2015? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, was it fucking that long ago?
Maybe it was 2016.
Maybe it might have been 2016.
Yeah, it must have been.
2016.
It must have been 2016.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
It was August 2016.
He was like Liu Kang for a second, dude.
I think a lot of the smell might be this thing.
Yeah, it probably is.
Because that thing stank when it was being cooked.
Cauliflower, dude. Well, you'll have to go back and watch it because I ain't retelling the story. I love when people comment like, what? Can you say that again? I just got here. I just heard the end. It's like, no, I can't say that again. Paul, you got a Jewy nose? Well, I've got a fucking DNA test that proves that I got no Jew. So I might have a Jewy nose. I cop to that. All the men in my family got this big fucking hook beak. That's how you know a Parky man. You know them by their beak. Mine's a little crooked too.
Huh? Okay.
But, like, yeah, my nose is a little weird. I got cartilage all the way down to the tip of my nose. So, like, I can't smash my nose flat like people do. This is the best I can do. Because I've got, it either goes to one side or the other. Like, I can't smash it down because there's just cartilage all the way there. So it's a beak, man. Not even 1% Jew. I have 0%. That's what my test said. Not less than, not that I care. Not that matters to the people that I'm around, but, you know, for the record.
Hi,
Yeah, if I got this nose, I got it from a Frenchman, a German, a Brit, or an Irishman. Those are the 4 most prominent origins in my genetic history. Whoa. What the fuck? What did that paper towel roll do to you, man?
Stop
You just fucking shredded it. You piece of shit.
He's so bad. Ooh. Thank you, kitty. Look at him.
I know.
Asshole.
Stinker. He's all mad because you want to go outside, dude?
Yeah, go for it.
You want to go?
Cats love the rain.
You can go run around outside, dude, if you're all angsty about not being let outside yet today.
He was.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I let you out earlier, and it had just started, like, sprinkling. 2 drops hit you, and you went straight back in the door. You want to go now? Now that there's a full thunderstorm happening out there? Plans for July 4th? None.
That's a month away.
Yeah. Like, I'll figure that out when it's a more pressing matter. Would you ever like to interview people as job? No. I mean, I don't know, maybe. I'm not a great interviewer, so poor JF, he just wanted to be not racist at all in the podcast. Yeah. I don't know what you mean by that. Interview people as John X. Yeah, there you go. Wait a minute, what are you talking about? As John X. I'm not John X. I'm trying to pin that shit on me, man. That's fucking serious shit. No, he was in studio. Like, how am I John X? Anyway. Ouch. Did you enjoy your interview of TJ in like 2011? That was actually him interviewing me. Ooh. I don't really do interviews as an interviewer, really. Ooh. Motherfucker. Oh.
They said milk has pretty high carbs.
Does it? What the hell? I thought it was
I mean, it's probably supposed to drink something with a high fat content, but
damn, 12 grams. The fuck?
maybe you probably shouldn't drink it.
Ouch. Oh, yeah, I haven't been drinking milk either. Well, I did yesterday, which is why today I'm probably fucked up, but... Okay.
Okay. So have you listened to him half and half again? The whole milk has 12 grams.
I mean, I drank a glass last night. I'd just say don't. I probably wouldn't drink more than that though.
Yeah. Well, I drank more than that last week.
Well, it's probably something that's holding you back. 'Cause it's pretty.
Didn't think to look at milk.
But I mean, the fat content in it is good, but the carbs are right on the edge of like.
I don't eat anything else. with
Ow.
12 grams, so.
All right, I won't look down. I'm sorry. Get. What animal makes your favorite milk? The cow. Like, like goat milk? Nope. DDP yoga may help you out, Paul. Well, I'm gonna try and. I don't think I'm gonna do the whole fucking regiment of DDP yoga, but I'm gonna work some of it into some of the other, like, basic yoga poses that I do. I can't do any of that shit right now. I can barely walk. Now Paul does yoga. I do stretches every day, and a couple of them are like yoga poses. The like downward facing dog to sun salute or whatever the fuck it is.
You know what the best one is?
What?
Corpse pose.
Corpse pose? What's that?
You just lay on your back.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, corpse pose.
You're probably doing a lot of that.
Yeah, I do a lot of corpse pose. Paul, prettiest of them all. That's gross. I'm not pretty. I'm a big, I'm a big burly man, dude. Look like I chop lumber for a living. Look at this body. Corpse pose is my favorite. Yeah, I could see. I didn't know that that was a pose, but if you're a fat, okay, I guess it does. Hey, boo boo. I know of some picnic baskets. Gee, I don't know, Yogi. The ranger might be mad at us. Nonsense, boo. What have I always told you? I'm smarter than the average bear. Okay, Yogi. Dude, I love Boo Boo. Boo Boo was like kind of a ripoff of Droopy Dog, though.
Yeah.
Because Droopy was just like the same way, just like that flat, kind of depressed one note
Eeyore,
thing.
too.
Yeah, Eeyore, yeah.
Always related to those characters.
Yeah. Eeyore was my favorite, so I guess I did too.
Yeah. Me too. Oh, Bob.
Don't worry about me. It's just my old tale again. It always falls off. Poor fucking Eeyore, dude. Yeah, Eeyore was always like last too. Nobody cared about him. Just left him like Christopher Robin had to come along and save him out of a puddle. He'd be like, Eeyore, what happened? And he'd be like, I fell into a puddle, but no one would help me, so I just decided to live here. Nonsense, Eeyore. You can't live in a puddle. I've been doing just fine. It's like, wow. It's kind of like Oscar the Grouch.
Oscar's a little bit more lively.
Yeah, but he's still like disregarded in the same manner by everybody else.
And he fucking lives in a trash can and people treat him like shit. It's like, no.
Does he
one's
still,
mad.
is he still on the show?
Uh-huh.
And he still lives in a trash can?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
For like 30 years, this dude lived in a
That's
trash
so
can.
sad. Can't somebody in Sesame Street find this dude a bedroom?
They really shouldn't have homeless people on Sesame Street.
No. Well, if they are, it should be, a lesson about how homelessness is a bad thing, not like disregard this grouchy homeless person that lives in a trash can for 30 fucking years.
He deserves what he's got, because he's a grouch.
Poor dude.
Oscar, just like the bird. Look at that little lion.
We care about nothing, Paul Zigo. Tomorrow we will come and cut off your Johnson. We care about nothing. We believes in nothing, Lebowski. We cut off your wriggly penis. Sesame Street teaching kids about bums for decades. Yep. The dude ate garbage water ice cream. I'm pretty sure it's a choice. What?
Oscar ate garbage.
I don't remember that, but okay. When I'm dead, just throw me in the trash. There you go, cynic. That's the way to be. Just load me up in the fucking green bin. put me on the fucking compost pile and use me to feed your fucking fruit plants and shit. Something keeps kicking against the camera. Oh, it's my finger. Sorry. I have this tick where I like constantly scroll up even though I don't need to be doing it. I cut off your wriggly penis, Lebowski. All right. I can't hold this thing anymore, so I gotta go. Bye, bye, bye.